In this video lecture, we will talk about Raoult's law of vapor pressure. So, Raoult's law is applicable in case of solutions, right, that consist of volatile components, right. So, what Francois Marie Raoult, who was a French scientist, Francois Marie Raoult studied vapor pressure of number of binary solutions like benzene and toluene, like glucose and water, right. Then after going through several experiments, right, of studying vapor pressure of binary solutions, he reached at one conclusion that we would be discussing, and that conclusion came to be known as Raoult's law of vapor pressure, right. So when we talk about binary solutions, by binary solutions we mean that the solutions that consist of two components, right. For example, if we talk about a liquid solution, that means the liquid solution binary liquid solution will consist of two components like benzene and toluene, right, like petrol and water, right, which is also a binary solution but is not a homogeneous, so it is not applicable to such solutions. Or if we take example like alcohol and water, right, which are miscible liquids. So we would be discussing Raoult's law for two cases. First is liquid solutions, the second is the solution that is composed of a volatile solvent and a non-volatile solute, right. And we have already discussed about vapor pressure of solutions and that of pure liquid, right. So if we take a liquid solution, right, this is a liquid solution that is composed of two liquids A plus B, right, and both these liquids are volatile, right. These are volatile liquids, right. So if we talk about in terms of moles of liquid A and B, let's say we have Na is equals to moles of liquid A and Nb is equals to moles of liquid B, right. So we have gone through in our previous videos, in previous chapters, about mole fraction, right. So mole fraction is if XA is the mole fraction of A, let's say XA is mole fraction of A, right, and XB is mole fraction of liquid B. Mole fraction is number of moles. Mole fraction in simple languages, number of moles of liquid A, of liquid component A in this entire solution, which consists of A and B, that is Na and Nb, right. Total number of moles in this solution is moles of A plus moles of B. If we talk about mole fraction of A, that means number of moles of A, right, in the total moles, which is Na plus Nb. So Xa, which is moles of A, right, in the solution, it would be number of moles of A out of total number of moles. Similarly, if we talk about moles of liquid component B in solution, it would be number of moles of B, right, out of total moles in the solution. Number of moles of B out of total moles in solution, right. So this is just a little quantitative things behind these liquid solutions that we would be using again in the future lectures. So what Raoult said, right, that the vapors that are above this binary solution, right? Vapors of, if we talk about now by vapors of binary solution, since both liquid A and liquid B we said is volatile, right? So vapors above this liquid solution will consist of vapors from liquid A and vapors from liquid B, because both are volatile, right? So vapors above binary solution will consist of vapors of liquid A and liquid B, right? Because when we study about vapor solutions or vapor pressure of solutions, we said that evaporation is a surface phenomena, right? So if we talk about the molecules that are present on the surface, it will consist of these molecules are, because this is a solution of miscible liquids, right? So this, at the surface we have molecules of liquid A and liquid B, right? And both has tendency to evaporate and move into vapor phase to build the vapor pressure, right? Now what the law says that since this is, we said that vapors above binary solution will consist of vapors of liquid A and B. So the vapor pressure is due to vapor pressure of liquid A plus vapor pressure of liquid B, right? So vapor pressure of solution would be equal to vapor pressure of liquid A plus vapor pressure of liquid B, right? The vapor pressure due to liquid A would be called as partial vapor pressure of liquid A. This would be partial vapor pressure of liquid A, right? Out of this total vapor pressure, the vapor pressure contributed by liquid A would be partial pressure of liquid A, right? Similarly, vapor pressure of liquid B would be partial vapor pressure of liquid B denoted by PB, right? And this is your total vapor pressure, right? So this is the story behind vapor pressure, this above the liquid solution, liquid binary solution consisting of two volatile components A and B. It would be PA plus PB, right? Now what the Raoult law says it says that the partial vapor pressure due to component A, right, would be equal to the product of the mole fraction of A, which is XA, right, and the vapor pressure of liquid A in pure state, right? It would be, let's say in pure state the vapor pressure of liquid A would be PA and XA. Similarly, this is your Raoult's law if you want to define it, right? It says that vapor pressure due to liquid A, right, would be equal to the product of the mole fraction, right, of liquid A and the vapor pressure of liquid A in pure state. PA is vapor pressure of liquid A in pure state, right, when it is not in solution, when, because, and it's a constant quantity, PA naught would be constant, right, when, since this consists of A plus B, right? So if I just talk about the vapor pressure of pure A, it's that quantity, right? And XA we know is the mole fraction of liquid A in this binary solution. Similarly, PB would be vapor pressure of liquid B in pure state, and XB product of XB and PA naught, PB naught, I'm sorry, and XB is the mole fraction of liquid B in this binary solution. Right? This is your Raoult's law for miscible liquids, right? For liquid binary solutions, right? So I repeat, in a solution, the partial pressure of vapor pressure of a solution component of a given at a given temperature, and just make sure you understand one thing, that in this entire experiment temperature is constant. Temperature is constant, right? And this is your Raoult's law that says that in a solution the partial vapor pressure of a volatile component at a given temperature is equal to the product of the mole fraction of component A and the vapor pressure of component A in pure state. This is your Raoult's law for vapor pressure of liquid solutions. Right, now let's jump to another case. The second case would be Raoult's law of binary solution Raoult's law of binary solution of non-volatile solute in volatile solvent, right? So here let's take, and we have already introduced to the vapor pressure of solutions. If you have any confusions regarding that, you can look back my previous lecture on vapor pressure of solutions, right? So if I add, say, glucose in water, right, it has the molecules of glucose inside, right, and above also we have molecules of liquid, right? And as we have a non-volatile component, so some of the liquid molecules at the surface would be replaced by this non-volatile glucose molecules, right? So these non-volatile glucose molecules would not contribute to the vapor pressure of this solution, right? So glucose would not contribute to vapor pressure of solution, right? Now let's say we have XA as the mole fraction of solvent in solution, right? So here the vapors that we would see above this liquid solution, this will consist of only solvent vapors, which is water in this case, right? Because glucose is a non-volatile component, is a solid, so vapors above this solution would be contributed only by solvent, which is water in this case, right? So vapor pressure above, right, or the vapor pressure above this solution would be proportional to the mole fraction of your solvent, right, or the volatile component, right? So here we will say that vapor pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction of volatile liquid component, right? So let's say we said it's XA, mole fraction of liquid A. So here we will write vapor pressure is directly proportional to XA and vapor pressure. If I replace, this is directly proportional to XA, and as per Raoult's law, the vapor pressure of this solution, if you apply this concept, vapor pressure of liquid, vapor pressure of this solution would be the product of the mole fraction, right, of this liquid component and the vapor pressure of this liquid component in pure state, right. So vapor pressure denoted by, let's denote it by P is equals to PA naught, right, or this PA naught represents the vapor pressure of water in pure state without glucose, right, multiplied by XA, which is the mole fraction of liquid component water, or solvent which is volatile water, right. So here we can state Raoult's law as Raoult's law of binary solution consisting of non-volatile solute would be equal to the product of the mole fraction of the solute and the vapor pressure of volatile component in the pure state, which is water, right. So from here we can deduce one thing, that since this is a surface phenomena, right. So here at the surface, more is the number of moles of liquid, right. Let's say number of moles of liquid is Na, solvent, right. So more the number of moles of liquid present at the surface, more would be the vapor pressure, right. So I can write it like this, that vapor pressure is directly proportional to the moles of, or the mole fraction, right, moles or the mole fraction. If we talk about mole fraction, let's say X, we have Na upon, mole fraction would be number of moles of liquid component A divided by the total number of moles in this solution. The total number of moles would be moles of water plus moles of glucose, right? Na plus, let's say, moles of glucose, Ng, right. So this is your mole fraction of liquid component, right. So pressure, the vapor pressure would be directly proportional to the number of moles of liquid component, or the moles of liquid component, I'm sorry, the mole fraction of liquid component, volatile liquid component, right. So just remember this, and if you take it like this, since this is a proportionality sign, if I remove this proportionality sign, I have to put a constant here. So the constant would be, if we talk about the vapor pressure of pure water, that would be constant, right, at constant temperature. So I can replace this proportionality sign with PA naught XA, right. This is how you can derive mathematically your Raoult's law, because vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction, or the moles that are present at the surface of volatile component, which is water, right. We say it mole fraction, total number of moles of water in the solution, right. So since vapor pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction of volatile component, if I remove this proportionality sign, I will put a constant which is PA naught, which is the vapor pressure due to pure liquid component A, which is a constant quantity at constant temperature. Similarly, if we look at this here also, since we have vapors due to A and B, if I talk about, if you look at the surface, more is the number of moles of component, say A, then more would be the vapors of A, right, above the solution, right. So I say that partial pressure due to A would be directly proportional to this mole fraction of liquid component A. More is the this means more is the number of moles at the surface, more would be the partial pressure due to A. So if I remove this proportionality sign, I'll put a constant, and if you look the constant quantity in this experiment, the PA naught, which is the vapor pressure of pure liquid A would be constant at constant temperature, PA naught XA, right? Similarly, if we talk about partial pressure due to B, so more is the number of moles of liquid component B at the surface, more is the partial pressure due to liquid component B, right? So PB would be directly proportional to mole fraction of B, and sorry PB. So PB, if I remove this proportionality sign, I'll put a constant which is PB0 XB. This is mole fraction or the vapor pressure. This is the mole fraction of B, and this is the vapor pressure due to pure liquid component B, which is a constant quantity, right? So this is how we reach or derive your Raoult's law, and P would be equal to PA plus PB, which would be PA naught XA plus PB naught XB. Right? And if I draw a graph, right? If I draw a graph, in this case, how will the graph look like? I said that partial vapor pressure due to the vapor pressure of this liquid solution is directly proportional to the mole fraction of XA, right? So if I draw a graph between XA and vapor pressure, right? Say V, vapor pressure Vp, we said that as we increase the number of moles of XA, right? As we increase the number of moles of XA, the partial vapor pressure or the vapor pressure of the solution will increase, because XA is the only liquid component. So we say as the number of moles of this the volatile component A will increase, the vapor pressure will increase, right? Or we say that the mole fraction, as the mole fraction of liquid component will increase, the vapor pressure will increase. So we get a straight line like this, right? So this straight line shows that P is directly proportional to XA. If you increase the value of XA, right, like this, we see that the corresponding vapor pressure is also increasing, right? Similarly, if we talk about the graph in this case, the graph would be, we will take the XA here, let's XA is equals to 0 and XB is equals to 1. Let's say we are adding, this means we are adding liquid component A to B. Suppose I have taken pure liquid XB, right? I have taken pure liquid B consisting of only pure liquid B, and as I keep increasing XA, which is the mole fraction of A, that means if I keep adding volatile liquid A, right? So it would be like this, right? Because as I keep adding in this direction, XA is increasing. In this direction, XA is increasing. That means XA is increasing, that means mole fraction or the moles of liquid component A is increasing. So as I increase here, if you look at here, as I increase the liquid component A, the vapor pressure or the partial vapor pressure due to A, that is PA, will increase, right? So this vapor pressure will keep increasing, right? This is how you get the graph of when you add liquid A to pure liquid B. Similarly, if you look here, I'll go in the reverse direction. Suppose I have pure liquid A, right? And if I start adding, and here I have XB is equals to 0. If I keep increasing the mole fraction of liquid component B, right, then vapor pressure due to liquid component B will keep increasing, and you get a straight line like this, right? So this is the graph when we are increasing mole fraction of XB or liquid component B, and this is the graph when we are increasing the mole fraction due to of liquid component A, right, XA, right? So this is how you get the graph. This is your PA and this is your PB, partial vapor pressure due to B is increasing as we are increasing XB, right? And this P is equals to PA plus PB is you get when you join these two lines, right? So these are straight lines that we are getting, and this is your PA plus PB, right? This is what you see in your books. This is how this graph looks like, right? So I hope all this is clear to you. This is very important to understand the next lectures, right? Thanks.